walking. It's cold. It is drizzling a little something, something. Um, I didn't get to go on live yesterday for those two playing games, shocking playing games. Um, Pelicans, man. Yeah. Luckily, I didn't put no money on these guys because they would have cost me a lot of money a little bit. You know, I was wrong on both accounts. I thought Pelicans will prevail. They will make it. They let me down. Honestly, they let me down because I thought they were better than this. I thought they were able to, get the job done. Salute, FY. What up? Um, do you know today, I believe today, back in 2016, I believe, was the day Kobe Bryant retired from basketball, right? This is the day he dropped 60 points, his final NBA game. You know, is Kobe Bryant a top five player for y'all? Somebody told me that Kobe Bryant, Jordan, and LeBron James, that's it. That's the top three race. And he had Jordan 1, Kobe 2, and LeBron number 3. Now, that argument is kind of old because I see a lot of people do that, Not top 5. I know you got him in the top 10 at least, FYF. Yeah, man, the Pelicans really rely heavily on Zion Williamson, bro. They're going to have to do something. Can you build a future with a guy like Zion Williamson? He looks overweight every single day, man. He don't look like he in basketball shape at all. He could be one of those guys that continuously get hurt. What up? See you later. You called it. OKC tucked the dub. Yeah, luckily I didn't bet you money, man, because I would have been owing you some money right now. You did. You got it right. You did call OKC winning. I give you props on that. I was wrong. You was right. It is what it is. I can man up to it. Yo, see you later. Is Kobe a top 5 for you? You have him at 11? Cole, oh, you got Curry in your top 10? Wow. I will have Curry in that 11 through 15 for me. I think he needs one more to get into that top 10. But him getting one more, being in that top 10, I think he could bypass Magic Johnson a little bit. Because Magic Johnson won titles as a sidekick and a franchise player. You could argue the same case for Steph Curry, right? And you could argue the case Steph Curry is a better scorer. Well, that's not an argue. Steph Curry is a better scorer than Magic Johnson, So, but see you later. Is Kobe in your top 5? Because I could tell you a lot of people here in Los Angeles, don't you ever say Kobe is not in the top 5 in Los Angeles. These people here will go crazy over you. You see the palm trees in the background, all right? You see the palm trees in the background, bro. They ain't playing, They love some Kobe out here, man. King Kobe, Yeah, he said he a Lakers fan. That still makes it valid. I mean, valid, so to speak. A lot of people like Kobe Bryant in their top 5. There's nothing wrong with that. Man, I don't want to see Minnesota or OKC go to the playoffs. I was hoping neither one of those teams make it. Now I have to pit up with one of them making it. So yeah, that's something I don't want to see. Really don't want to see that, but I had to put up with it, man. Fucking sucks. If I had to take a pick, I go with OKC. I'd rather see OKC probably at this point than Minnesota. OKC is a young team. They're going to be vicious for years to come. The Houston Rockets, OKC, and the Pelicans are going to be teams that to look out for in the future. 5 years from now, within this time frame, from now to a 5-year period, those teams are going to be title contenders, I believe. Keep messing around with the Thunder, man. They're going to mess around and get even better in the draft pick. They got Chad Holmgren. He's going to be better. The Thunder is going to be scary for years to come. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a great scorer. He's a bit inconsistent sometimes, but he could get buckets. He could find a way to get buckets in an intelligent way. You know, he's a volume scorer, though. I give him that. He's more of a volume scorer, you know, so he got to get hot sometimes. Yeah, OKC have a history of getting good talent. I don't think no team in the NBA history, in modern NBA history as of right now, like the last 10 years or so, or a little earlier, had better talent than the OKC Thunder. They had everybody, and it's usually do draft. They drafted Kevin Durant. They drafted Russell Westbrook. They drafted James Harden. Who has more? Then on top of that, they end up getting Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They got Chet Holmgren. What's the kid from Australia? Giddey? You know, he looked like one of those boys, those white boys you find in the YMCA that look like he can't play basketball. But homeboy be dropping it. He ain't that fast. He ain't that athletic. He just picks his spots. He's poisonous a little bit. He could flat out score. Man, homeboy a problem. He flat out a problem. You know? And he only gonna get better because he only 20 years old. Homeboy only 20 years old, man. He gonna get better with time. So is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But here's the thing about basketball. Sometimes players reach their peak. Okay? How come every time I come out here, there's a fire alarm going off? Or the fire department is doing something crazy. It's all the time. This must be like a drill or some shit like that. Because I can't get no peace. You know, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, yeah, Zion always wanted to be on the Knicks. Too bad. Knicks is too stupid to get Zion Williamson, man. You know, Knicks is just a dumbass franchise that can't get shit right. Can't get a franchise player. And how long? There's so many all-star players now, guys that's capable of being all-stars. And you can't get one elite franchise player. Let me get out of here because this fire department is going crazy. I think this is just like some drill shit. Or because they do this shit every time I'm coming outside. It's kind of a little distracting for me, man. You know? But there's no telling, there's no stopping it right now, man. Joel Embiid is definitely the MVP of the league. Give that man his MVP award. Nah, FYF, you got it. I mean, Kobe in the top 10 is very logical. I mean, he don't get as much classic performances. I give you that, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's Kobe Bryant, man. I mean, he more than worthy enough of being in the top 10, you know. He's the only top 10 nostalgia. Holy shit, man. You're going to get a lot of people here in Los Angeles mad, but, you know, it is what it is. I ain't mad at you like Tupac can say, you know. Salute, G-Money. What up? Oh, thank God it's a little more quiet here, you know. I had a person here at my job that went and met a rapper that pulled up in a Maybach, right? Because she was selling this guy real estate. He didn't want to buy the condo. And she got pissed off at it. Now she's coming to me telling me she didn't close the deal. That's not my problem, okay? I don't even know what rap artist you're talking about. There's a bunch of rap artists here in California. How the fuck I'm supposed to know who the guy is? You just told me his name is Jordan something. Is that his real government name? How the fuck I'm supposed to know? He pulled up in the Maybach. I'm supposed to know who the fuck this rapper is? You know? He could be Rick Ross for all I know. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. You know? If you let me meet him, I could probably tell you who he is. You know? Last year, well, the year before last year, it was like 2020, I met DJ Khaled. And I got to meet him at least, right? But how am I supposed to help you out with something if you don't let me be involved or see who the guy is. So, do you know a rapper with the name Jordan? She says it's Jordan something. I don't even know if that's the. I don't know about a lot of these new rap artists, because some of these guys are just flunkies to me, man. So, if y'all know who that rap artist is, y'all let me know. You know, that's all she could tell me, that the guy name was Jordan something. So it is what it is. You know. But yeah, man. It's kind of weird. I deal with a lot of people in the entertainment business here, and they big time Kobe homers. Toronto should have been a 6 seed. Should have, would have, could have. Your record is what you are sometimes. Salute to G Money. Me and G Money had a good talk about offense and defense. Here's the thing about offense and defense, G Money. They're never going to be equal. One always going to outweigh the other. And if you could look at history has shown us the defense is a little bit, outweighs the offense more. It just is what it is. That's the history of basketball. Toronto had no depth. He said Toronto had no depth. He disagreed with you, see you later. He said Toronto had no depth. I would let y'all in, but this is not one of the live chats where people could come and talk. So it's really only me. I can only read your comments right now. So it is what it is. Figure I just chat in some basketball a little bit. Fuck, man. I'm opening up to the play-in tournament a little bit. It has its moments where it's entertaining a little bit, but I still think it's a waste, No, here's the thing. I said you don't need I didn't say nothing. You moving the goalposts. The reality of the situation is you could win an NBA championship with a mediocre offense. I didn't say nothing about bad offense. You're moving the goalposts. That's taking it to the extreme. I said mediocre offense, and as long as your defense is elite, you will win a championship. No team in NBA history has won an NBA championship being elite offensive team and bad or mediocre defensive teams. Period. That is the fact. You name me one team that won an NBA championship with bad defense, but an extremely good offense. And the only one you could come up with was the Lakers. And that's an exception to the rule. I give you the Lakers if you want to have that. But that still don't make it right. If you win the lotto, you mean to tell me 1 out of 1 million person could win the lotto? Is that normal or is that rare? It's rare. Because the majority of it is most of us are going to lose the lotto. Period. Most NBA championship teams are elite at playing defense or great at playing defense. And you could be mediocre at offense and still win an NBA championship. But you can't flip it around and be mediocre at defense, but extremely great at offense. The 2020 Lakers were a great defensive team. They had a lot of good stops, AD and such. Dwight Howard, such and such. The 2018 Warriors were a great defensive team. The Warriors in general were a great defensive team before Kevin Durant even got there. They're one of the best perimeter defensive teams. You just overlooking the fact that they got good scores. None of those teams had better offense than defense. Their defense was always better than their offense. All championship contending teams. That's a fact. Reality has shown you that. The 96 Bulls were better defensively than they were offensively. That's how they won most of the time. Defense. Rebounding and defense, two of the biggest essentials to winning basketball games, because anybody can score. Yes, good offense. Good offense. Key word. Good means mediocre offense. You could win an NBA championship with mediocre offense, but your defense has to be great. Your defense cannot be mediocre. You cannot win an NBA championship with mediocre defense for the most part. Exception to the rules don't count. Most teams have won being great defensively, and they could be mediocre offensively. There's never equal. Good is mediocre. Great is something else. Great is like all-star. Or you want to go beyond that, like excellent or elite is top of the line. And all the best offensive basketball teams in NBA history, Phoenix Suns, with Steve Nash, had the most potent offense in NBA history. How many championships did they win? None. The Orlando Magic from 1995 was mostly a better offensively team than defensively. How many championships did they win? None. All teams that were great offensively never won championships. You know? Mediocre means good. It's half and half. That's what good is. Great is beyond good. There's levels. There's bad, there's good, there's great, and then there's excellent. You know? And if you don't want to consider good mediocre, fine. But let's just say good for argument's sake. So if you want good, you need good offense, but even better defense to win NBA championships. All right? Period. Offensive-minded teams do not win championships. That's better than their defense. It never happens much. Even with veteran teams win more than young teams. Young teams barely win NBA championships. That's a fact too, because if you look at the history of it, barely happened. The 2008 Celtics won an NBA championship primarily because they were better defensively than they were offensively. As a matter of fact, all the greatest offensive players in NBA history have lost when they prioritized offensive more than scoring. That was one of Michael Jordan's flaws early in the game. He thought he could outscore people, and he realized he can't do it. Walt Chamberlain thought he could outscore people, and he kept losing most of the time, realized he can't do it. Kobe Bryant thought he could outscore people early in his career, realized he can't do it. But when those guys became two-way players, they start playing defense, and their defense became exceptional, and it became elite. That's when they start winning a little more. And their team came of age, of course, start playing defense. Teams never win NBA championships trying to outscore people, no matter how great their offense is. Good offense could win you an NBA championship, but good defense cannot win you an NBA championship. So, yeah. That's in the regular season. The Milwaukee Bucks beat the Phoenix Suns because they were better defensively and they had better rebounds. The scoring went to the Phoenix Suns. I remember I covered this. This is not too long ago. I said it was scoring versus defense. And the defense won. All that scoring the Phoenix Suns didn't help them win an NBA championship with Chris Paul and that free-flowing offense that they had. It didn't win a championship. Every team that has won a championship has won it mostly by playing good defense. Great defense. The Suns missed some wide open jump shots, but they still weren't better defensively. They had no answer for Giannis Antetokounmpo. If they played good defense and it matched up with some of their offense, they might have beaten the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm not moving the goalposts. The history of basketball has shown you defense wins championships. So am I making that up when I say defense wins championships? So you mean to tell me throughout history of basketball, defense wins championships is a myth? There's a reason why we prioritize defense more. We never say offense wins championships. We say defense. If you play basketball, you know defense wins championships. And if you're great at it or elite at it, you're going to win a championship, even if you're mediocre or good, if you want to call it, at offense. Period. Your opinion, G Money, does not line up with facts. Because every great NBA team that was good defensively or elite has won championships. Of course you can't stop everything. You need good offense, but you cannot win with good defense. You need great to elite defense to win an NBA championship. Every NBA team, 96 Bulls, Golden State Warriors, the Miami Heat with LeBron James, they all were great defensive teams. All of them. Nah, Brandon, I'm not getting annoyed, but if you play basketball, who in their right mind going to say you could outscore somebody, have elite offense, and win an NBA championship? Nobody wins championships like that. The Spurs were great defensively. Every team, every dynasty were great defensive teams. Bill Russell Celtics, '08 Celtics. I mean, the list gotta go on and on. I just said the 96 Bulls. If it was the other way around, they won't win. You cannot win with great elite offense and mediocre defense. They don't equal each other. It's always the other way around. Defense wins championships. The Milwaukee Bucks proved it. Remember I said this is going to be offense versus defense. If the Phoenix Suns can win, they're going to be the exception to the rule. I said that back in the year the Milwaukee Bucks went to the championship. It was analytics versus the traditional way, and the traditional way won. So fuck them analytics, because they lost. Analytics say the Joker is the best player in the game. He ain't gonna get the best result come playoff time, I bet. I never heard nobody say offense wins championships. Where they make that up at? Defense wins championships. You could have mediocre, or I just call it good, for argument's sake. Good offense. You can have good offense, but if your defense is not great, you're not going to win. You need great to elite defense to win an NBA championship. Every NBA championship team has won with playing exceptional defense for the most part. There's only few exceptions to the rules that won an NBA championship trying to outscore people. If it couldn't work for Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe, even LeBron, you can't outscore somebody. You need defense. Outscoring somebody for a championship, even with a team, it don't win. All the greatest offensive teams always lose. All the elite offensive teams lose. James Harden's Rockets, scoring out the woodwork, never win. The 2000 Cavs? Oh, you mean the Cavs with LeBron? Great defensively, but they weren't really good offensively at all. They were too heavily reliant on LeBron James. Those Cavalier teams was bad on offense. That's my point. They couldn't score that well, but they were great defense. I didn't say you making exceptions to the rules. I didn't say you could be bad on offense and win an NBA championship. You have to be good. You could be good and win an NBA championship as long as your offense is good. I mean, your defense is elite. The Cavs had elite good defense, but didn't have good offense at all. I didn't say nothing about bad. Bad offense is not going to get you nowhere. You could win with good, what I call mediocre offense if your defense is elite. But the Cavaliers weren't good offensively at all, really. They were good defensively, and those defense that they had got them to that 60 plus wins. That was just on defense alone. Knicks and Pacers were good defensively, yes, But the Bulls were good defensively, and no, the Bulls were better defensively, elite defensively, over those two teams. And the Bulls were good offensively, not elite, good. The Bulls had a lot of their offense run through Michael Jordan. The rest of those guys were barely double-digit scorers. The Bulls won because they were elite on defense for the most part. They didn't win because of scoring. You could be good at scoring, but if your defense is elite, you're going to win an NBA championship, most likely. Those Pacers and Knicks teams were good defensively, yes, but the Bulls was better defensively. That's why those series was the way they were. You know, drag them out, rough physical fouls. The Bulls was just better. If you're trying to outscore people, you're not going to win. And I'm not proving your point because your point is mute. Offensive teams that are elite do not win NBA championships. So where's your history and your facts for that? How come the Steve Nash Phoenix Suns don't win an NBA championship? They can outscore anybody, right? But what good is it outscoring somebody if you can't play defense? Defense got to be elite. Nope, now you're moving the goalpost. I didn't say you can't score. You talking about a bad score. I said you could be a good scorer and your defense could be elite and you could still win basketball games. You could still win a championship. Horrible teams don't win on offense. Stop moving the goalposts. I'm not talking about horrible teams. I said you got to be good, which I call is mediocre. But if your defense is elite, you're still going to win an NBA championship. But if you flip it the other way around, you're better offensively, but you're mediocre on defense, you don't stand a chance of winning an NBA championship, most likely. Stop moving the goalposts to bad scoring teams. I'm not talking about bad scoring teams. That's irrelevant. I said you could be good at scoring, but you have to be exceptional at defense to win an NBA championship. It's that simple. It can't be the other way around. Defense wins championships. I'm going to repeat because you probably never played basketball. Defense wins championships. Offense wins games. When we say offense wins games, we're talking about regular season. Okay, so you should know. Defense wins championships, not offense. What team that was better offensively won championships most likely? The history says wrong. I'm naming you several teams that won championships because their defense was better than their offense. Again, good offense will help you, but exceptional defense will win you a championship. Why you think the Houston Rockets beat Shaq and the Orlando Magic? Orlando Magic were better offensively. Houston Rockets was better defensively. And they were just good enough to score enough points to win an NBA championship. You know? Of course they had shooters. You got to have a good offense. Duh. All I'm saying is you don't need an elite offense to win an NBA championship. But you need a great to elite defense to win an NBA championship. It's very simple and clear. Defense wins championships. You keep saying offense, but none of these great offensive teams have won NBA championships. Where's the proof of your claim? Prove it to me. Bill Russell teams won on defense. Mainly. The offense was second. The Bulls won on defense. Offense was second. Spurs, defense. Offense was second. Who has won? You're not making no point for no team. You want to make a point, show me. Who was better offensively than they were defensively that won NBA championships? It's barely none. Larry Bird's Celtics won championships better defensively than they were offensively. Elite offense does not win championships. That is incorrect, brother. If you play basketball, you should know everybody teaches you defense first. And some teams, they won't even let you get playing time if your ass don't play defense. They sit you on a bench. The greatest offensive players in NBA history don't win NBA championships when they slowly focus on just offense. Look at Carmelo Anthony. Difference between him and LeBron. LeBron was willing to play defense, something Carmelo Anthony didn't. The Miami Heat, Wade, Bosh, and LeBron were one of the best defensive teams in the league, but good at offense. Sometimes their offense will get stagnant. What gives them wins is their defense. Again, now you're moving the goalposts again. The Bulls with Tim Thibodeau were great defensively, but not good offensively. They were almost as bad offensively because they was too reliant on Derrick Rose. You're talking about bad offensive teams that have good defense or great defense. I said you need to be at least good at scoring. Good at scoring, not bad at scoring. But elite scorers do not win championships. Elite scoring teams do not win championships. There's no fact to that. All these championships you named, they all were great defensively. Even the Showtime Lakers team was better defensively than they were offensively. The Bulls with Jordan, better defensively than they was offensively. The Golden State Warriors with KD were better defensively than they were offensively. The Heat were better defensively than they were offensively. LeBron James' Miami Heat teams were great defensively. That's when LeBron was in his peak playing his best defense too. You win NBA championships primarily playing defense first and foremost. Then offense second. But let me get out of here. I gotta go. So, again, exceptions to the rules don't mean nothing. Why you always point at the one case out of 10? If 9 out of 10 people win championships primarily based on defense, you gonna focus on the one team that did it, that was an exception to the rule? The world works on majority, not minority. G Money. Do you know the difference between majority and minority? Nothing is equal. Something always gets a little unfair advantage. It's like men and women. There's double standards. But let me get out of here, man. It was good chatting, y'all. That's because their offense wasn't good. I said you can't win with bad offense. You need good. It don't have to be elite offense. It could be just good offense, but your defense has to be elite. A lot of teams that don't win championships, their offense is suspect. It's bad, but their defense is just good. It don't go that way. But if you want to win an NBA championship, your defense has to be elite or great for that year. For the most part, majority of the time. You still can't name a lot of teams that win NBA championships solely based on outscoring teams and mainly focusing on offense. The reality of the situation is, it doesn't happen. Your opinion is not a fact. Look at the history. History shows you wrong, G Money. Can't move the goalposts. I'm out. Peace.